Mr. Bump goes on a trip. Oh dear, Mr. Bump hasn't got off to a very good start. But you see, today isn't just a normal day. He's going on a trip. Oh, a nice shower. Oh, it's freezing. Oh, well, at least I'm awake now. Oh, a good breakfast is just what I need before setting off. Oh! Yes, I'm coming. Fancy that. Mr. Bump has made it over to the door without an accident. Oh! Ah, little Miss Busy?
I actually came over to give you a going-away present. Dear me, look at all this mess. Are you all right?
Oh, not to worry. I'm quite used to it.
Look, this is for you.
Oh, lovely. A scarf.
I knitted it myself.
Well, how kind of you. I wear it on the beach. It will stop me getting sunburned. Thanks ever so much.
Perhaps you need something cleaned or polished in there.
No, everything's just fine. I really must be going. I have to put a bandage on. Oh, fiddlesticks. My lovely scarf. Oh! Really, it's not my day. I'd better just hurry up or I'll miss the train. Oh, wait for me. Wait for me. Oh. If this bus doesn't come, I'm going to miss my train. I know. I could always hitchhike. They can't miss this. Wow, that's some thumb. I'm late for my train. Well, come on then. Jump in, quickly, don't dilly-dally. Here we go. Why won't anyone stop? You look familiar, but I simply can't remember your name. Oh, yes, you can, Mr. Forgetful. I'm Mr. Bump. Remember? Who is this Mr. Forgetful chap? Well, that's you. Why, of course. What am I thinking of? Do me a favour, Mr. Forgetful. Please take me to the station. But of course. We're going backwards. So we are. There you go. We've arrived. I'm so glad you haven't missed your, plane. Plane? What plane? I'm taking a train. Oh, no. Mr. Forgetful has left me at the airport. Oh! Now Mr. Bump is having the best holiday of his life. And he has made lots of new friends. Mr. Dizzy goes doggy-sitting.
I'm coming. I'm coming. Hello. Hello.
Ah, Mr. Dizzy, I'm Mr. Clever. I'm entering a competition, and so I've come to ask you if you would mind looking after my dog. I shall be proud to look after your dog. I rather hope that my dog will be proud of you. Oh, yes. In Cleverland, even the animals are clever. Rex, like his master, is very, very smart.
Hello. Hello.
Rex, here's Mr. Dizzy, who will look after you while I'm away.
Meow. Meow.
Don't worry. He's a little dizzy.
Look, I've got a present for you, doggy. Hello, doggy.
Yeah, put that in the fridge and get ready for our walk.
What? Did I do something wrong?
Ready for walkies?
Where are we going?
To the park.
Here you are, nice doggy.
What do I do with it?
I say, your friend's a bit dizzy. Rex, can he at least sit up and beg?
He doesn't like sugar. I'm sure he'd prefer a little pepper.
We take out our handkerchief when we sneeze, Mr. Dizzy.
What did I do wrong?
First, give me that bone. I'm the dog. And give me the collar. You look ridiculous with that thing around your neck.
Everybody makes fun of me. I'm tired of being so dizzy.
Don't be that way. You're not as silly as all that. Just tell yourself you're clever.
Oh, I'm clever. I'm clever. I'm clever.
Perfect. Perfect.
I'm clever. I'm clever.
Yeah, that's good. Now, put the collar around my neck. I'm only a dog and you're my master.
What will we do?
We're gonna teach two bad people a lesson. We can get it when we come. Rex and Mr. Dizzy waited for Little Miss Trouble and Mr. Uppity to return. My dear Dizzy, are you still quite as dizzy?
No, I'm clever now. Oh,
I see you still have a cold. Well, I've got just the remedy. Here, breathe this in. It's very good for colds.
Well, I just need a little bit more. Could you fill Mr. Uppity's hat?
With pleasure, my dear Dizzy.
Just go! Oh, do excuse me. How dizzy I am.
There now. That's how, with the help of Rex, Mr. Dizzy became more clever. What a choice for little Miss Fickle. Do you know what little Miss Fickle's problem is?
No.
She could never make up her mind.
Oh, no. Oh, no, not that one. What about green? Oh, no. Blue. Orange. No, red.
Poor little Miss Fickle can never make up her mind. 3 letters for you, little Miss Fickle.
Goodness me. I don't believe it. Oh, what on earth should I do? What is going on, little Miss Fickle? Oh, Miss Magic, what a disaster! Mr. Strong, Mr. Small and little Miss Wise have all invited me round this afternoon. So, what is the problem? Well, I don't know which invitation to accept. If I go to Mr. Strong's house, then Mr. Small and little Miss Wise will be upset. And if I choose little Miss Wise, Mr. Strong and Mr. Small will be sad. I'll never be able to choose. Please don't worry. Listen to me. Little Miss Fickle will be 3. Have fun, all of you.
So little Miss Fickle went to see Mr. Strong, who, being Mr. Strong, prepared a meal of eggs for her.
Just wait till you taste this omelette. You'll absolutely love it.
I wonder if I wouldn't prefer fried eggs after all.
No problem. And I've even managed not to break the yolks.
Do you know how to make boiled eggs?
No problem. There you are.
Actually, I don't think I fancy eggs after all. I'd love a cup of tea, though.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Mr. Small and the second Miss Fickle were playing hide and seek.
7, 8, 9, 10. You're supposed to hide, little Miss Fickle.
But I can't decide where.
I wonder what our third little Miss Fickle was doing at little Miss Wise's house.
There is a very good cartoon series. We're going to have great fun. I wonder what's on the other channels. Sport. But what about Channel 9?
Good afternoon, and here is the news.
Please stop. I wish you'd make your mind up, little Miss Fickle. This is making me quite dizzy.
After such an eventful afternoon, our 3 little Miss Fickles are happy to be home again. But 3 little Miss Fickles getting dinner ready? Can you imagine that?
What's for dinner? Sausages? And why not bananas? I think I'd rather have steak. And how about some cake? No, eggs would be much nicer. A green salad? No, spaghetti. And why not mashed potato? Goodness me, this really won't do at all. What on earth is going on? They can't make up their mind. I understand. What a pickle. Let there be just one little Miss Fickle. Whoops. Phew. Thank you, little Miss Magic. My pleasure. But I think that from now on, you really will have to manage by yourself, you know. Goodbye now. I'm invited to a very splendid party for very splendid people. Would you like to come? Wait, just a moment. There's someone at the door.
I'm going to a sausage eating competition. Do you want to come along?
I'm not sure.
Happy Christmas, Mr. Worry.
Have you ever noticed how happy everyone is on Christmas Eve? But of course, who could be happier than little Miss Sunshine?
Merry Christmas, Mr. Rush.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas, Mr. Strong.
Merry Christmas, Miss Sunshine.
Where are you going with all those trees?
To Mr. Worry's house. He is terribly worried, you know.
But why?
You're late, Mr. Strong. I was so worried.
But you see, I finally made it. So there's nothing to worry about, is there?
Yes, there is. I'm very worried. Come on in, and I'll tell you. Do you like my Christmas tree?
It's magnificent, Mr. Worry.
Doesn't it lean over a little?
Listen, Mr. Worry. I honestly think that your tree is the most beautiful one in town.
Well, that's exactly what's worrying me. Everyone should have a beautiful tree. Otherwise, Father Christmas will be very disappointed, and it'll spoil everything. Come along, Mr. Strong. We haven't a minute to lose. Hello, Mr. Mean. Do you have a nice Christmas tree?
Yes, of course I do. I kept the one I had last year.
But Father Christmas will be most disappointed if he sees that you haven't made an effort. You may not get any presents.
Oh, no presents? It must have cost a fortune. But a real Christmas tree is beautiful, isn't it?
Hello, little Miss Tidy. Have you decorated your Christmas tree?
Yes, but I've forgotten where I put it away.
Oh, no, little Miss Tidy. You should know better.
I am sorry.
Don't worry. We'll take care of it.
But of course I have a tree. A magnificent one at that. Come and see. See? I told you.
But, little Miss Scatterbrain, that's a hat stand you've decorated, not a tree. To work, Mr. Strong. And all day long, Mr. Worry and Mr. Strong put up magnificent Christmas trees for everyone in Mr. Land. Even though Mr. Worry is now sure that everyone has a beautiful tree, he just can't stop himself from worrying. What if Father Christmas catches a cold? And will he be able to get down Mr. Worry's chimney? And the next morning, oh, Father Christmas has come. What a big parcel. I do hope I can open it. Well, that looks fun. For Mr. Worry, so that he can relax and worry a little less. Best wishes, Father Christmas.
Oh, Happy Christmas!
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas!
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
Christmas.
Thanks to Mr. Worry, everyone had a visit from Father Christmas. Mr. Mean had received a superb collection of chocolate money. Little Miss Tidy was also delighted. Unfortunately, little Miss Scatterbrain had already lost her present. As for Mr. Strong, it looked as though he was going to get even stronger.
Something wrong, old chap?
I wonder if next Christmas will be as much fun. I mean, you know, I worry about that. Mr. Nosey solves a mystery. Mr. Nosey is busy at his favourite pastime, spying on the neighbours.
Nothing new today. Well. Here's Mr. Stamp coming to pay me a visit.
I have something for you, Mr. Nosey.
Oh, my nose! Oh, help! My nose!
But what's it doing in my bag? Please let go. Oh, these letters are not for you. Here, this is for you. Goodbye, Mr. Nosey.
Nothing interesting. Oh, wait. What's this? Detective needed to solve mystery. Contact Mr. Worry. Oh, at last, someone needs my help.
What are you doing?
Don't you need a detective to solve a mystery?
Did you read that in the paper?
I'm better than any detective. A member of your family?
Why do you want to know that?
To help solve the mystery, of course.
The mystery isn't here. It's in the garden. Every day my apples disappear. I can't even sleep at night.
I think I know where to begin. No apples on the menu today, Mr. Greedy? I wonder where he hides them.
Mr. Nosey, nosiness is a terrible thing.
Well, I can't tell you now, but I'm on a special mission for Mr. Worry. His apples are disappearing.
Somebody gave them to me this morning.
Who?
Mustard. Those apples are full of hot mustard.
Well, no need to tell me who gave you those apples.
Someone's going to have some fun. Me!
I knew it. I knew it. Only little Miss Trouble does things like that. Hands up! You're under arrest.
Kindly give these to Mr. Worry.
Are you certain little Miss Trouble won't come and take more of my apples?
Don't worry. Mysteries great or small, Nosey solves them all.
Heavens, what's happening? Thanks to Mr. Nosey, Mr. Worry got his apples back.
So, you've known little Miss Trouble since play school. Maybe she was just trying to get her own back.
You're really too nosy, Mr. Nosey.
That's what they always say when I learn one of their secrets.
No food is no fun for Mr. Greedy.
Mr. Greedy doesn't need an alarm clock. His tummy wakes him up in the mornings. Oh, I'm hungry again. Oh no! I don't believe my eyes. Oh, I'm sure they were full last night. I must have eaten more than I thought. I'd better hurry out and do some shopping.
Hello, Mr. Greedy.
Oh, hello there, little Miss Greedy.
Hello, Mr. Greedy.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Crumb. Oh, I'd like a dozen loaves of bread, 15 apple pies and 20 hot cross buns, please.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Greedy. We've sold out.
You mean all gone?
Little Miss Greedy was just here, and she bought everything in the shop.
Too bad about the bread. Still, I'll buy 3 dozen eggs from Mrs. Green. I'll make an omelette as big as that. No, bigger! Hello, Mrs. Green. 3 dozen of your biggest eggs, please.
Here you are, Mr. Greedy. Sorry, Mr. Greedy.
I don't believe it. It's never been empty before. My tummy's as empty as my wallet.
What do you want? Anyway, I've got no money, you know.
I'm sorry to disturb you, Mr. Mean, but I'm terribly hungry. You wouldn't have a little piece of bread for me, would you?
No, Mr. Greedy. I'm keeping the bread I have left over for tomorrow.
Dear. Oh, dear, oh, dear. I must eat. I must eat, and soon. Oh. Please, Mr. Mischief. I haven't eaten a thing all morning.
Sorry, dear friend. Look. That was my last.
Just look at me. I'm getting thinner by the minute. Good day to you, Mr. Greedy. How are you? Terrible. I haven't eaten once yet this morning. Oh, I've just finished my shopping. Come and have lunch with me. I've cooked you some fish. You like fish, I hope? Oh, like it? Oh, I love it. Oh, as long as I'm eating, I'm a happy man. I'm not that hungry, are you? Oh, no. Help! I'm starving for food. I need food! What a horrible dream! It was then that a very odd thing happened to Mr. Greedy. His dream had been so awful that for the first time in his life he didn't feel hungry. Oh, no.
A special friend for Little Miss Lucky.
Today is Sunday, and little Miss Lucky has invited some friends to spend the day with her. First of all, there's little Miss Bossy, and Mr. Uppity, and finally Mr. Grumble.
I always get a 1.
My turn. I don't believe it. That's my 5th one since we began. Dawn, it's your go.
Watch this. I'm going to win. I'm sick and tired of this game.
It's my go.
Oh.
6. There it is. I've won.
You always win, Miss Lucky. That's true. It's no fun playing with someone who's so lucky.
We could play something else if you like. I've an idea. Let's play Skittles.
Ah, a game of skill. Good idea. I don't like games of skill. Your lucky streak won't help you now, Miss Lucky.
That's all right.
I'm going first.
No, let her go. That way we'll soon be rid of her. Here, Miss Lucky.
Missed. No!
I'm not playing anymore.
What a stupid game.
Poor little Miss Lucky. Suddenly she felt very sad.
Hello, Miss Lucky.
Hello, Mr. Bump.
Oh, what's wrong?
Nobody wants to play with me anymore because I'm too lucky.
Too lucky? Oh, with me, it's just the opposite.
I'd play a game with you, little Miss Lucky.
Look out! Oh, how terrible! Oh, dear.
Oh, don't worry, Miss Lucky. I'm used to it.
Watch out, Mr. Bump! Oh, it's really awful luck. Are you all right, Mr. Bump?
Fine, thank you, Miss Lucky.
How do you manage to be so unlucky?
I don't know, but I'd be surprised if it's over.
Are you all right, Mr. Bump?
I wouldn't expect you to understand, Miss Lucky.
Nothing to worry about. With my luck, about now, a flower pot should land on my head.
Are you sure?
Ooh, I'm certain.
Well, we shall soon see.
Here goes. Now do you understand the meaning of bad luck?
That's incredible.
So, how about that game of Skittles?
You're really certain you want to play?
Absolutely certain.
Careful now. Not too hard. Take your time. A winner! Oh, congratulations, Mr. Bump.
Well, how about that? Little Miss Lucky has finally found a friend who will play with her on Sundays.
Ah.
And she's delighted.
Mr. Daydream talks to the stars.
It looks like a wonderful day for daydreams, Mr. Daydream. It does. Let's go. Mr. Happy has been reading his favourite book, Tarzan in Wonderland. There he goes. Mr. Happy is on his way to Dreamland. Let's see what happens. And here's little Miss Tiny.
Mr. Skinny, how do you fancy a lollipop? Yes, please. It'll fatten me up. Thank you, Mr. Happy. Just one will do nicely. Why don't you give the other one to Mr. Uppity? He's having to tread on eggs, poor chap.
Excuse me, I wonder if I could have the other lollipop to make a soldier. Oh, dear me. Silly, silly me. I forgot to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm very worried because Mr. Uppity said thank you. You're right, Mr. Worry. He did say thank you. And look how he's been rewarded.
Mr. Uppity, I'm taking you home in a flying hammock as a reward for saying thank you.
Oh, thank you, thank you. From now on, I'll always say thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Daydream, and thank you for such a wonderful dream. Did you enjoy your journey? Oh, yes, I had such a good time. All these adventures have made me hungry. Would you like to stay for lunch? Well, I'd love to. After lunch, Mr. Daydream and Mr. Happy decided to go for a walk into town. Thank you, Mr. Happy. That was a delicious lunch. My pleasure, Mr. Daydream. I say, dreams do come true sometimes, don't they? Why, of course they do. Do you see what I see? Yes, it's Mr. Skinny, sucking a lollipop. Now that rings a bell. All the same, little Miss Prim, I find it very worrying. Perhaps he is ill.
On the contrary, Dr. Pill. At last, I shall be able to let him round.
And you don't find that worrying? What is so worrying, Mr. Worry? Well, you see, I've just met Mr. Uppity at the butcher's, and he had his nose in the air.
No, he said thank you.
I must be dreaming.
That's enough, little Miss Bossy.
Little Miss Bossy is a strange lady. She can't stop giving orders even when she's home alone.
Get up! Today is my birthday. I absolutely must get some friends to come over and bring some presents. Off we go.
Hello.
It's my birthday today, little Miss Greedy. So rather than stuffing yourself all the time, bring me a very large cake by 4 o'clock.
Yo-ho! Little Miss Bossy!
Stop that immediately, Mr. Bounce. Instead of bouncing up and down all day, bring me a gift at 4 o'clock. Today is my birthday.
Little Miss Bossy ordered Mr. Lazy to come to her birthday party too.
Birthday.
And Mr. Funny is also invited.
It's my birthday today and you're coming to my party, OK? And you can take that silly grin off your face. Where can they be? They can't have forgotten my birthday. Not before time.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, no, not you, little Miss Contrary. You weren't even invited.
And I'm happy to see you too. Oh my, such a lot of people. Well done. Everything is simply perfect.
That does it, Miss Contrary. Instead of making fun of me, you can leave this instant.
With pleasure.
You are making me very angry, Miss Contrary. Get up immediately.
With pleasure.
Stop, little Miss Contrary. Stop.
I'm happy to see you too, Miss Bossy.
Oh, do as you like.
Well, if you insist. Goodbye.
For the first time in her life, little Miss Bossy has absolutely no desire to yell or give orders. After all, what is sadder than to find yourself alone on your birthday? Oh! Ah, here comes little Miss Curious.
Why are you walking with your head down?
Because I'm sad.
And why are you sad?
Because my friends didn't come to my birthday party.
And why didn't your friends come to your birthday party? Why didn't your friends come to your birthday party?
Little Miss Bossy simply doesn't know the answer to that question. So she decides to go and ask someone who organises the very best parties, Little Miss Fun.
Why, hello, little Miss Bossy. Come in, come in.
Wake up, Mr. Lazy. Get up and dance. Come on. Stop stuffing yourself, Miss Greedy, and come and lose some weight on the dance floor.
Oh, that's enough, Miss Bossy.
What do you mean?
Having a party means letting people behave as they wish. No one is stopping you from dancing, are they? Do you understand, Miss Bossy?
Yes, I think I do.
And that's how little Miss Bossy became a lot less bossy. And how she came to have a lot more friends. Mr. Forgetful. Hey, waiter.
Cheese, eggs, cauliflower, alarm clock, shoes. Mr. Forgetful is so forgetful that he can't remember what he's looking for. Milk. Of course, milk. That's what I need. I must buy some, milk. Hello, little Miss... Dotty.
I'm little Miss Wise, Mr. Forgetful.
Oh, what, of course. How silly of me. Thank you, little Miss Giggles. Bread. Yes, it must be bread that I came to buy.
Hello again, Mr. Forgetful. You already bought 2 loaves this morning.
Oh, I did? So what on earth did I come into town for? So, you are the new waiter, then? You are late. Oh, I'm sorry. We have customers.
Waiter!
What about my order?
Waiter!
Where's my lemonade? Some chocolate cake, a peach melba, and a Eclair and a strawberry milkshake for starters.
A hot chocolate, waiter, and do hurry up!
A coffee eclair, a banana cake, strawberries and cream, and a giant vanilla Monday, Tuesday, no, Sunday.
Oh, what good timing, waiter. I am little Miss Splendid. Would you take care of my little dog while I go shopping?
Hey, waiter, I'm hungry. There you are, Mr. But I ordered peach melba, not a poodle melba. I didn't order this, but it's delicious anyway. Patch, here, boy. Rex, dog. Oh, what was his name again? Yes, that's it. Where are you?
Have you lost something, Mr. Forgetful?
I've lost a little bird I was looking for little Miss Wise.
But I'm little Miss Wise, and I don't have a bird. Anyway, what would you say to a nice cup of tea?
Good idea. This looks like the right sort of place, doesn't it? Waiter! But you're my waiter. Back to work, lazy boys. I'm sorry, I don't even know you.
Waiter, what have you done with my little dog?
What dog? Of course, the little dog you gave Mr. Greedy for his dessert.
Oh, how could you have eaten my poor little poodle?
The Melba dog.
Oh, no! My poor little poodle! There you are, my sweet! So the nasty man didn't eat you.
It's too hectic for me here. What would you say to a little stroll? Thank you for showing me the way home. I was quite, lost, you know.
It was no trouble at all.
Goodbye, little Miss, Wise. My word, I'm starving. Cheese, eggs, cauliflower, alarm clock, shoes. Oh, of course, milk, that's what I need. I must go and buy some, milk. Mr. Jelly's show of bravery.
Can you guess who lives all alone in the heart of the forest? Why, Mr. Jelly, of course. Mr. Jelly is afraid of everything, especially people. Mr. Jelly, I hope everything's all right.
I'm scared. I heard a knock at the door.
Hello,
Oh,
I'm Little Miss Tiny, and you must be Mr. Jelly.
yes. Can I help you?
Oh, I just dropped by to say hello.
How very kind. I never see anyone.
Why ever not? Shutting yourself away won't help at all.
I'm sure you're right.
Well, I must be going, Mr. Jelly.
You really can't stay?
No, I'm going wild strawberry picking. Like to come?
Oh, no. I'm much too frightened of the forest. But would you like to come to lunch after your walk?
I'd love to. See you later then.
See you later, little Miss Tiny.
It is way past lunchtime, and Mr. Jelly was very worried that little Miss Tiny had got lost.
Little Miss Tiny! Oh, oh, where are you? Hello, Mr. Rush. I need you to help me find little Miss Tiny, who's got lost in the forest. Hello? Hello?
What can I do for you?
Well, that really was quick. Hurry up, I'm in a rush. Little Miss Tiny has got lost in the forest and...
She isn't there.
But, Mr. Rush, that's impossible. You haven't already. Sorry, but I have an appointment. Goodbye.
So Mr. Jelly phoned someone else to ask them to help.
Hello, little Miss Contrary. Thank you for coming.
Goodbye, Mr. Jelly.
Come on in. I'll open the door.
So you found little Miss Tiny then?
No, I'm afraid I haven't.
I see.
But, little Miss Contrary.
I'm sorry, but little Miss Greedy just isn't here. Bye-bye.
You're my last chance, Mr. Bounce. Now don't you worry. I'm sure I'll find her. Oh, Mr. Bounce, where are you going? I don't know.
Poor Mr. Jelly, he is terrified.
I can't leave little Miss Tiny all alone in the middle of the storm.
Fiddlesticks! To think that you went out all alone in the middle of the storm. You really are very brave, Mr. Jelly. What is wrong?
You can't hear anything? At last, there she is. I found little Miss Tiny.
Mr. Strong, king of the circus.
Do you know where Mr. Strong gets his strength from?
La. Nothing beats a good omelette.
He eats eggs, and the more eggs he eats, the stronger he gets. Unfortunately, Mr. Strong doesn't realize how strong he is.
Uh-oh.
He is so strong that he has to be especially careful, otherwise he breaks everything. Mr. Strong even manages to break things he doesn't touch.
An amazing circus show right here in your town. Great, the circus. I have a feeling this is going to be a fun day. Oh, quick, hitch up the elephant. We must free Chuckles and his monkey. I'll have you out of there in a jiffy, little fellow. Well, please help. Hang on, here I come. Help me, please. Don't you worry, my friend. Nothing broken?
Ouch! Oh, what a grip!
What a fright we had! Thank you, Mr.
Mr. Strong, at your service. Oh, well done, Mr. Strong. How would you like to join my circus? The greatest of pleasure.
Never before seen on Earth. The strongest man in the world, Mr. Strong, will carry a whole family of elephants on his shoulders.
It's that clumsy old Mr. Strong showing off again, little Miss Trouble.
So let's play a little joke on him. Let's see how strong Mr. Strong really is without his eggs.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the strongest man in the world, Mr. Strong. I'll never manage it. I haven't had my omelette for tea.
Don't you worry, I'll take care of that.
And now, Mr. Strong will lift up the old elephant family before your very eyes. You look a little under the weather. Well, I am a little tired, but it will pass.
He's getting booed, the clumsy old thing.
He's only getting what he deserves.
Oh, you beast!
Three cheers for Mr. Strong. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Oh, well done, Mr. Strong. You are fantastic. Would you like to join me for supper tonight?
So Mr. Strong did. And you know what they had for supper? That's right. Eggs, of course. Mr. Nonsense rose to the moon. Lumpy-dumpy-dumpy-doo, the little birds will be happy. In Nonsense Land, nobody is surprised when Mr. Nonsense does strange things.
What a stupid idea to give sweets to birds. Such waste. Besides, it's very bad for their beaks.
Mr. Mean always carries his fortune with him. He never leaves his money at home for fear of being robbed.
11, 12, 13, 14. Mr. Greedy and little Miss Greedy will give me a good price for these. I'll try to get more.
So long as one sweet remains, Mr. Mean won't leave.
Hello, little Miss Wise speaking. I know it's you, Mr. Nonsense.
I'd like to take you on a boat trip, little Miss Wise.
I like proper boat trips. Your boat doesn't move, not even an inch.
Oh, that's true. But like my old friend Mr. Clever would say, if you don't go forward, you're going backwards. So I'm moving backwards. Little Miss Wise, I promise we'll go on a proper outing.
If you mean a real outing where I can see the sights, then I accept your invitation.
Good. I'll give her the trip of her life. This is my passport to outer space.
Give it to me. Oh, how pretty you are, little sparrow. What's your name? If he answers, the sweet is mine. You wait till I catch you.
Yoo-hoo! Mr. Nonsense!
I'll send down the lift.
A wise move.
Ready for the outing.
So long as it's safe.
Oh. This is my passport to outer space.
My fortune. Oh, my precious fortune. Well, let's go home. Help! Help!
May I inquire where we're going, Mr. Nonsense?
To the moon.
Oh, is that wise?
Help! Help!
We have a stowaway on board.
It's Mr. Mean.
Sorry, no free ride. I'll throw you the life belt, cabin boy.
Water! Water!
We're losing altitude. You'll have to jump.
No.
We're too heavy.
Oh, you wouldn't throw me out of the window, would you?
You do have a very heavy bag here, you know.
I'm gaining altitude, but we must dump some ballast. Mr. Mean, throw your bag overboard.
Oh, never.
Come now, be sensible.
Oh, if my money goes, then I'm going to. I won't forget this, Mr. Nonsense. My bag! Where's my bag?
Little Miss Wise, let's go for a stroll on the moon.
Is that wise, Mr. Nonsense?